Hello, trading is closed on April 25th, 2019. Let's go over our calls. We had some price targets. They printed. They were resistance, and they wound up being support. Look for the pattern with the early low and the late high. We got that. We said the day tended to be positive unless there was a big drop in the first 1 to 2 hours, which there was. I'm leaving this target here. Usually when they print, I take it away because I said when it printed I could make this work for the top of the move, but I could make other numbers work too. This wasn't my favorite number, and since I wasn't calling it, that meant it would probably work. That's the way life goes sometimes. Until we break over this is a candidate. That's all it is right now. Well, here we had an ultimate buy signal plus a buy signal, but MEJT sets targets. It doesn't really set entries or exits, and they had a lower target as well. And the upper target, well, the lower target printed, but the upper target just missed. So we have an optional target of 2933.08, most likely to print tomorrow. Now we came close enough so that if we drop in a straight line from here, it's a direct hit. And when you hit a number almost on the head and not quite, it can lead to some pretty good moves. But as I've said, you don't know if you're going to surpass it until it's too late to act on the information. Just if it starts to drop, it could be a pretty significant drop. Tomorrow's pattern has the early low. Doesn't mean you won't gap up first. Now these drops weren't recovered. These we hit as gap down and lower low. Closed over all of them. It's positive, but it's negated unless you gap under and take out this low promptly. But this pattern almost always closes at the day's high. When it doesn't close at the day's high, and particularly when you have an early drop like this, it typically leads to lower prices at some point. Doesn't mean you won't get higher prices first, as we did, but this is a negative pattern when it comes early and leads to lower prices at some time. If we gap up, take out these highs, and preferably these highs, the rally can continue. But if we can't, it could spell real trouble. We've been trying to pick tops here for a long time. Never really called it except once when I canceled it after a day. I'm going to have to say this one's a candidate. We're now under this line. There are any number of places where you could count this wave up as ending. But if it has ended, that's a big if, you've got a pretty beautiful count for the waves down. I mean, there's your 5 waves for 1. Here's your clear A, B, C for 2. And this could be the start of an impulsive wave 3 down. If we gap up instead, of course, there's some other way you can count this. But if we drop, that's the explanation. So we have an optional higher target, but remember, if this is the end of the leg, MEJT will almost always leave an unfilled higher target, and if it does not, probably isn't a high. This failure to close at new highs is negative. This is resistance here. There is hope for the bulls because we have a wall into the close, and often that leads to a gap up. And if we gap up, the whole negativity of this thing is reversed. But if we don't, it's very negative with a good chance, not a certainty, that we gap under this low. And if we do, it's probably the start of wave 3 down, and this leg probably ended this week. So we'll have to see what the open holds for us, and that's today's call.